This portion of Utah's Morning News brought to you by Regence Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Joining us live in studio is Dr. Mark Hiatt with Regence Blue Cross Blue Shield of Utah. Always good to see you, Doctor. We heard something about a talcum powder lawsuit, a recent court case that involved talcum powder. What's that all about?
Amanda, the defendant claimed that he used talcum powder for 30 plus years. And as a result, he alleges that he developed pleural mesothelioma. Now, mesothelioma is a tumor of the lining of the around your lungs.
That we usually relate to asbestos, right?
That's right.
But in this case, what did the jury decide?
Well, the jury agreed with this man, and it awarded, as a result, $37 million to this man and his wife.
So is there a connection then between talcum powder and cancer?
Well, although the jury in this case was convinced there was, the scientific jury is still out. You see, it's alleged that talc is mined sometimes in proximity to asbestos, which is a known carcinogen. But really, that hasn't been the case, there's been cross-contamination really since the 1970s. There's been close monitoring, and so really there shouldn't be that cross-contamination.
Wow. But obviously there'll be more in studies done with talcum powder, I would imagine. Let's talk about this advisory from the Surgeon General, because it's not often that the Surgeon General does issue a public health advisory. He did that just a couple of days ago.
That's right, Tim. This is for the first time in 13 years that the Surgeon General has released an advisory, and it's related to the opioid epidemic, which claims about 115 American lives each day. That means that about every 12 and a half minutes, we lose an American to an opioid overdose.
What did he tell us to do?
He told us that we should carry the life-saving and easy-to-use naloxone, which is sold under the brand name of Narcan and others, to reverse the respiratory depression of an opioid overdose.
Well, I know one of the suggestions to get this widespread within, society is that we maybe include this in our CPR classes.
You know, it may be practical. We learn how to do CPR, how to do chest compressions, how to perform the Heimlich maneuver, and it could be that really we need to know how to administer naloxone.
All of us, not just people who have someone who they know who has a drug issue. All of us.
That's right. Not just if you or someone you know may be at risk. It could be that you could come in contact with someone you don't know, and you can render that assistance in that great time of need.
Sad that it is that common in our society that it would be something we all had to know, isn't it?
But I'm glad to know that recommendation. Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. This portion of Utah's Morning News brought to you by Regence Blue Cross Blue Shield.